Are we back?
Yep.
Hey gang, Dallas here from Privateer Press. And everybody knows to build a great house you need an awesome foundation. So today we're going to go over the fine art of cleaning and assembling your models. Let's get started. There you go. What'd you think of that? That was some straight up P3 Presents intro.
That was pretty magical.
So we've got our Monster Apocalypse Gorgadra here, and we've noticed on Facebook and social media, a lot of people picked up the starter at Gen Con that we pre-released that didn't necessarily or had not necessarily traditionally been hobbyists. And so I thought today we'd cover like cleaning your model. Now we've got some videos on this. If you go to P3 Presents, in the first 10 videos we got Getting Started playlist, and it kind of goes over this, but we're going to do it live right here on this Gorgadra so people can see a little bit of cleaning. So, let's just go ahead and do this. So as you can see, these are feed gates on the top of the Gorgadra fins. He's also got one here on his little tail spike. And we're just going to clip those off. I'm going to use my P3 clippers. And I'm just going to line that up. And I'm going to clip that off as flush as possible. Just to trim that down. And he's got a little bit of hair on his tail. I want to get rid of that. Snip, right? And that gets rid of the big chunks, right? It doesn't matter how big the chunk is, right, or small. You're just clipping it away. You're just clipping it away. The big chunk doesn't mean anything. It's all the same. Just snap it off. Just lay the clippers are designed to lay flush, so you just lay that right against there, right against the surface, and clip that away. It'll still be a little rough. We're just going to clean that up as we go. This just gets rid of the big parts. Zula Man, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Onino J says Monpak. I know it's going to be a lot of Monpak. I got a lot of stuff to cover, and I want to get all these videos made for you guys. So probably be a lot of Monpak. So now that you've cleaned this area up with the clipping, I'm going to use my P3 hobby knife, and I'm going to just start to shave that down, just gently removing. You want a nice, good, sharp knife. New blades are always better. And I'm just going to scrape away slowly until I get to the surface of the big fin there. And this is good. This technique, this stuff is good on any model, not just Monster Apocalypse. I'm just barely, gently, just scraping, just little scrapes. Just
yeah, I notice you're actually going fairly slow and easy on it.
Yeah, I'm barely touching it. Right, you got a sharp knife. Now another trick I like is I turn so this is a sharp part right there. You can see the sharp part. I'm going to turn that away from me and create beautiful music.
Just gently scrapity.
And that just polishes.
Super gentle.
And now it's nice and smooth. Now, if you wanted to, you're going to want to mask, but you can use sandpaper or an emery board. I'm going to use an emery board. You should wear a mask for this. Resin in dust form can get in your lungs and can be harmful.
So remember, well-ventilated area and to wear some kind of mask or other respiratory protective device.
Yeah, there's a mask out there that's designed for this. So look those up if you decide to do this. I don't always sand my resin. but it is an option. It does get the resin super smooth. Like you can get like a glass like surface on this with the right application and a little patience. Like you can get a smaller tooth and just really polish that out and get that high gloss. Right?
For it is super shiny.
And now as you can see, that area is now just smooth. There's no more feed gate. That's where the resin gets injected. I'm gonna clean this side. Just kind of the same way. Just gently scrape that away. And there's a little bit of what's called mold shift. Mold shift is just a natural part of molds.
Yeah, you can't even see it on the camera.
Yeah, it's so fine. And mold shift can come in thicker or thinner shifting. Like there's mold shift along his belly that's a little heavier. You just scrape that down and just even out.
Again, with the blade kind of backwards.
Mm-hmm. You're just polishing that out. And I'm going to do that over the whole model. Now, we don't want to do the whole thing here necessarily. We're just going to go over the tips and tricks. Nice little short video. So I actually chose this Gorgadra. I actually dug around and had to find one in the rejection bin with a hole in him. Because sometimes when you go to scrape stuff away, there might be an air pocket. And that's just another natural part of, you know, just making a resin kit.
Aluminum putty.
So I'm going to bust out that P3 aluminum putty. I'm going to mix it up. This is even Stevens mix of the gray brown. This is the P3 aluminum putty. This stuff is super buttery smooth.
Even Stevens, also known as 50-50.
50-50.
1-to-1.
2 50s. So I'm just going to mix that up. And then like if you get a little hole or like sometimes like where the vent comes in, you might clip that way and you'll expose like a little air bubble that got trapped. You'll be like, oh no, there's a hole in my model. That's not a big deal. It's just, you're a hobbyist now. You're a hobbyist, Harry.
Who's Harry?
Some of us are hairy hobbyists.
That's fair.
You're just going to put a little bit of that.
It's so small you can't even get.
You can't even see it on the camera, but it's there. Trust me. So you can use a little chapstick, a little lip balm.
So it doesn't stick to the tool you're using.
Smush it down in there. The lip balm prevents sticking to the blade. I'm just going to mush it down in there.
Which of course makes it so now you can kind of see the hole. Because the aluminum putty has that, you know, kind of grayish brown texture or color.
And now the little holes filled. You can let that dry. You can like have the putty stick up just a little bit, let it dry, and then you can sand that down because the aluminum putty likes to take a good sanding as well. It actually sands very well. You can get a really sharp point on that. So let's go ahead and clean up this area for the head. Once again, there's a big injection port right on the head, so I'm just going to clean that up. This one I'm going to do a little rougher because the head's going to go right on top of this injection port, so I don't really care how it looks, so I'm going to just really get in there.
Which is always a good reason to do the whole, you know, measure twice, cut once thing. Because if you're not sure that's how the model's going to turn out, you can create an even bigger gap, and then you got to go back to the putty.
So get rid of all that. I'm going to check the head, make sure the head fits. There's injection on the bottom of the head. So we'll clip that away. Clip, clip, clip. Shave that down. Something like that. I'm going to test my fit. And I test all my fits. I usually test it 2 or 3 times. I look at it from different angles and see how it's going to fit and make sure it's fitting the right way it's supposed to fit. If it's a little lopsided, maybe I missed a little spot over here or something. You just kind of fit it. Make sure you're feeling good. Now, a good trick when assembling your parts This is double resin, and this works for metal resin and all that. So I'm going to take my blade, and where the connection point is, I'm going to do what's called scoring. All that's doing is I'm just cutting in some little fine lines. This is creating a lot of extra surface area. And what this does is allow the glue more area to grab a hold of and adhere. So you get a stronger bond. I'm going to do it on this side as well. I'm going to go 45 one way, 45 degrees one way, straight across, and straight up and down. It's like cross hatching. That just increases the amount of surface area. And then I can take my P3 super glue. Now I usually like to pour my glue out and apply it with a toothpick. That's another trick. I don't have any toothpicks up here. So like for example, I might put a little glue up here. Boop, 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 boop. A little bit of glue. Then I might use a toothpick, or just take a piece of plastic card and make a, watch this. Well, that's not my knife. That's my sculpting tool. Make a toothpick. Bloop. This gives you more control. Let you spread the glue around instead of just blurking it out. I just want a nice thin coat. You don't need a lot of glue. More glue can actually reduce the grip and make it take longer to adhere. I'm just going to put that on there. I'm going to hold it in place and just kind of think about funny cat videos or puppers playing in the field or something. I don't know. Well, we all like thinking about puppers. Do we have any,
I love my puppers.
Do we have any questions? We're live, so we might as well take questions.
While we wait for that to draw or dry. Let's see here. Yep, 2 streams in 1 day, skeletal. True story.
Truth. And Zulu Man says, I had some small hole on my swamp siren that was a lot of fun to fill in. Sure. Like it's, I actually like building models. Like building kits is a lot of fun. We can, while that's drying, we can clean up some other parts. I'm not going to do the whole model today. We're just giving some tips and tricks on assembling our Monster Apocalypse. Has anybody got any questions? Go ahead and ask. Feel free to ask. I'm going to clean this up while that paint's drying. Or that, not paint. I'm used to painting, not gluing on stream. All right. So the next thing, it's for Monster Apocalypse. We have these bases, and they are clear bases. And one concern you could have is fogging on clear plastic, which is a thing that you have to think about. But with the right application, it is not an issue. So we're going to talk about that. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to score the bottom of his feet, his little pads. And this is where he connects to the base. I'm going to score those up. I'm going to think about where he's going to go. Right? I'll put my knife right here, and I know that that's the toe. And so right over here is where his foot goes. I'm going to score that just a little bit. And once again, we're going to make our little, we're going to use a toothpick. I don't have any on me, so I'm going to make one. Like so. So what makes fogging happen on clear plastic is actually as super glue cures, it releases some gassing. And if it lingers, the gas goes up and then settles, and that creates a fogging. So if you're concerned about that, one trick I like to do, I'm using P3 super glue, and we have not had any fogging issues. But if you're worried about it, what you can do is you put your guy in front of a fan while the glue cures. And what that does, also less glue is better. What that does is it takes the gassing, off gas, and takes it away from the model, takes it away from the clear, and sends it somewhere else. And then you should not get any fogging whatsoever.
Very gentle blowing works on it as well for me.
Just blowing it away. I usually just put it in front of a fan, and then as it off gases, the gases just go away, and then there's nowhere for it to settle. Well, settle somewhere else, but not on this. And then we have zero fogging, and we get nice, clean, clear bases. So, out of interest, Dallas, John, how well do these minis sit on a P3 prime spray lid? I've used double-sided tape, and I put mine on top of a regular P3 primer lid. All the Monpac models fit on top of a P3 prime lid. O'Neill J says, in regards to holes, could you fill in the hole with paint when you start painting it? Probably not. As paint dries, it contracts, and so it's going to contract down in. So it's just going to take multiple coats to get that. I wouldn't recommend that. It's just much easier to put a little putty in there and just let that cure, right? Just put a little putty in there. It's very easy to work with. It's very easy to smooth out. Not a big deal. So that's really it. The same thing with metal parts. Not many Monster Apocalypse models come with metal parts. Some of them do. And you clean it as normal. I use files as well, regular metal rasp files. And you clean up your mold lines. Score it. Use your P3 super glue. Glue it together. Remember, fit twice, glue once. And with a little patience and practice, you'll have your monster assembled in no time. And I think that's it.
I think so.
I think that's it.
Pretty simple.
How to clean your resin and assemble your resin Monster Apocalypse models. Get them on their bases so you can get them going and get your games playing.
Right on.
Right on. So we need a funny outro.
Well, first we have to do
well, we need and with that, your Monster Apocalypse is now resin to perfection.
Ooh.
No, that's not. We would have rejected that one. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out the links below for more in this series and additional information on the P3 Hobby line.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos and check out the links below for additional information on this series and the P3 Hobby line.
I just said that.
I know, I said it again.
Okay. I'm Gorgadra. I made toothpaste.